Welcome to Super Families with Sue. I'm glad you could join us. My name is Sue Karoga. In the Bible, in the book of Luke chapter 2, we see that Jesus had gone to the temple with his parents. And in verses 52, the Bible says, and Jesus grew in wisdom and stature, in favor with God and with men. By this time round, he was around 12 years old. The New Living Translation says that he was loved by God and by those people who knew him. By the time he is already 12, he is already loved by those people who knew him. The unfortunate thing in our times is that we are raising children who are only growing up in stature, but they have no wisdom, they have no skills of life, and therefore no one wants to live with them because they are simply big babies. They don't know what to do, they are irresponsible, they can't control even their own emotions, and nobody wants to live with children like that or with anybody who is like that. And that's why we are having this discussion. Let's teach our children to be responsible. Let us teach them to be involved in their house chores. Welcome. Welcome back as we discuss children and chores. In our last episode, we looked at children who are between the ages of 6 to 7. And then now today, we look at all those children who have the ages of between 8 and 9. And these are some of the chores that they should be able to do on top of what all those kids who are between the ages of 2 all the way to 7 can be able to do. So we are just adding the chores. And remember that these kids who are ages 8 to 9 are less enthusiastic about helping around the house. So if you've not already started training them, you're going to find it a little bit more harder because they would rather be playing on their phones or playing outside than helping, with house chores. And that's why we are saying you need to start training your kids early so that it becomes part of their DNA and so that it will not be very hard, for them to help in the house. You will not have to push them so hard to do that. Now, by this time round, these children, we said already they should be able to mop floors, they are able to sweep, they are able to organize a room. And now we add something on top of that. We say now they should be able to participate in general cleaning a house. So that you can involve them in, cleaning walls, washing windows and doors, scrubbing toilets and bathrooms. They should be able to do that at this particular time. In fact, next time that your kid, fails to organize their bedroom and you observe that it's becoming a habit, they are being lazy, they are not, interested in cleaning their room, then you can add them, to have to wash maybe one other toilet as a discipline so that they, desist from that misbehavior. And that way they should learn responsibility that is important for them to clean up. And then now we are saying, they can also be able to help you with, deep cleaning the kitchen, washing the walls, the cupboards, the cooker, the oven. They should be able to do that if you teach them how to do that. So those are some of the additional, cleaning chores that you can add to them. So by now, anyway, they should be able to just generally clean a house. And then now on top of that, we come to the area of, we have written here that they should be able to put away groceries. By this time round, we said you can begin to send them to a nearby shop. They can be able to count their change. Now, we are saying this is a good time again to teach them how to come up with a shopping list. And actually, you can begin to teach them how to shop from a supermarket. My own son, I started to teach him how to shop from the supermarket when he was 8 years old. And by now, he's an expert. He should be able to go to the supermarket with a shopping list and then do the shopping. He should be able to know how to pick the things, put them in the trolley and go and pay for them. And so at this particular age, you can actually begin to train them how to do that. So that now when you come back home with the groceries, again, train them how to put everything where it belongs, the vegetables, the cereals. As long as you have a place to keep everything, they can be able to do that. By now, they are able to organize a room. So even putting away the groceries, they should be able to do that and actually putting the kitchen in order. So at this particular time, they should be able to do that. And then now here, we have also written that they should be able to do some baking. In other words, now their cooking skills should go higher, a notch higher. So you can train them how to, for example, follow a recipe. So teach them how to use the measuring cups and spoons, and then be able to follow a recipe and do the right thing. This works both for the cakes and cookies, but also even for other foods. they can now be able to follow a recipe. They now know how to read and write, and they can understand instructions better. So what you need is to train them. If you want them to, for example, marinate a chicken, probably they can be able to do that with instructions, and then put it in the oven and be able to bake it, because now they can understand the instructions a little better. And now it means that by this time round, train them, show them the proper way of using the cooker, whether it's a gas stove or an electric one. Train them how to use it correctly. Train them how to use the oven correctly. They will be able to do it. By the time you will observe, by the time they are 9 years old, they are 10 years old, they will have learned how to do that, and they will be doing it well, so that now actually they can be able to make a proper meal at this particular age. And so that is good. Then we go back to the area of laundry. We said by this time around they are doing simple laundry. By now we are saying they should be able to wash and hang laundry. So whether you are using a washing machine or they're just using their hands, they should be able to do that. You can train them. If you have a washing machine, you can train them how to set it. They have already learned how to sort the clothes. Then now you can help teach them how to load the clothes and how everything that is required. Then after that, you can show them how to hang the clothes outside, and how to hang the clothes, the shirts and whatever, the dresses, using pegs, for example, and the clothes which should be hung up and the ones which should be hung down, and all that. Train them at this particular time. You will need to make sure that the hanging lines are at a level where they can reach. Although they are at this particular time, they are a bit taller. So you can just make sure that they can reach the lines, and that's all that is needed. And so then after that, the next thing we have written here is ironing clothes. After the clothes have dried, they should unhang them and bring them into the house. The next thing is train them how to iron the shirts, the trousers, the dresses, which clothes require ironing, which ones don't require ironing. And so that they learn how to properly use an iron box, the setting of the temperature, so that they don't burn their clothes or the ironing board. This is a proper time to train them, and they will be able to do that. These kids, they understand more, they can read, and then at the same time, they are a bit more careful. So this is a good age to train them how to do that. Then apart from that, something very important that is not being taught at primary school is simple mending of their clothing. That is not being taught nowadays. So it needs to be taught at home, how to sew a button, some back stitches, for joining a seam, some hemming stitches for the dresses or for the trousers, so that the child has some independence. They don't have to wait on you all the time to come and fix back their buttons. In case they have come out, they need to be able to do that for themselves. Teach them some of these simple mending skills, so that they don't have every time, for example, they lose a button from their shirt, they have to go and look for a repairer. They need to learn how to do to fix, some of those small mending issues. And this is a good time to do that. And then now, apart from that, we look at other things that they can do. If you live in a safe neighborhood, they can be able to walk with the dogs. It will be a good form of, fresh air and exercise, both for the child and for the dog. They can be able to do that. At the same time, make sure that you teach them some simple things in the house, like, for example, replacing a bulb. They should be able to do that. It's sad that we see, especially this happens a lot among ladies. You find ladies who cannot be able to replace a bulb, a whole grown-up lady who cannot be able to replace a bulb. And every time that the bulb goes off, and probably because it's expired, they have to go and look for someone to come and do that for them, which is really sad. There are some things around the house that we should be able to fix. And that's why we are saying simple repairs, like simple things like changing a bulb. Really, by the time a child is 9 years old, you should be able to train them how to do that. And then meanwhile, as they are growing up, they will grow up into it. And so these are just basically some of the things that we are saying a child who is ages between 8 and 9 should be able to do. Some even are able to do more than this, but at least this should be a bare minimum. And so now next time, I will be looking at children who have the ages between 10 to 11. But for now, from me, it is bye-bye and God bless you. Kindly consider subscribing, like, and share. And then let's meet again when we'll be talking about the 10 to 11 year olds. Bye and God bless you.